Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo! It's a hot take alert, a hot take alert! You've entered the hot take zone! I think King of the Hill is a pretty good show. There, I said it. I will not apologize for my hot take. It's a sincere show, it's loving, but above all, it's honest. It has all these flawed characters who, despite sometimes glaring faults, are ultimately decent people just trying to live their lives. And though a lot of the scenarios are outlandish, some might say cartoonish, in the cartoon show, the situations aren't divorced from reality. These are problems that the real world working class faces on a daily basis. It's just cranked up a couple of notches. One episode that really stands out to me is the Redneck on Rainey Street, Season 8, Episode 21. I'm Comrade Faust, and this is the SJLA. Khan is an interesting character in that he's completely out of place. It's not that he's an immigrant, it's not that he's a person of color. I mean, Enrique belongs, John Redcorn belongs, even his own wife belongs. The thing that sets him apart is that he is alone. He put himself at odds with everyone in the neighborhood, needing to prove that he is above them, and he makes little to no effort to connect with any of them on any level, even a surface level. They are rednecks to him. I mean, look at Hank. Hank famously sells propane as well as propane accessories, the script says. Propane accessories, weird. I've never seen the show. But Khan, he's above that kind of stuff. You see, he's a systems analyst. Nearly every interaction he has with all of the neighbors are either a negotiation, as with Ted Wasana-song, or not so subtle digs at his neighbors. He has no peers. He's different. He's not like other Texans. This is an episode all about Khan and a really shitty week that set him on a path of nihilism and being adopted by a toxic community. It begins with his daughter Connie receiving a letter of rejection from a prestigious summer school, Rice Summer School, a school that she, by all rights, deserves to be enrolled in.
There were many highly qualified applicants, and unfortunately...
Connie has best grades in school.
Yes, but it's not just about grades.
I know that. Connie also had more extracurriculars than anyone else.
When Con confronts the admissions officer, she plainly and freely admits it is because she is an Asian American, and that her coming from a middle-class family does her no favors.
Look, Connie's a really smart Asian girl, but I've got a boatload of them, pardon the expression. She's not black, she's not Hispanic, or even white. I mean, good Lord, give me a white kid from a public school with Connie's specs, and that kid could waltz in here.
You telling me Connie didn't get in because she's an overachieving Asian? Oh, that's discrimination!
In a way, it's flattering, isn't it?
Ah!
Hey, maybe there's something that you left off of Connie's application. You know, some kind of hook. Has Connie ever had to play that violin of hers on the street? You know, to buy her strung-out mother just one more hit?
No.
Not only is it racism keeping Connie from being admitted into the summer school, but Khan's success. He was able to achieve middle-class comfort for his daughter and his family, so she has been excluded. He did everything right, but he cannot get her into her dream school. And he taught her to do the same, encouraging her to work hard in school and spend hours mastering the violin. And if his success cannot bring his family enough, will her success be able to bring her enough? His cultural and racial identity is important to him, to some extent at least, but he has very few ties to his homeland of Laos, Ted Wasana-song being one of the few ties remaining. Khan sees him outside of a Presbyterian church. Methodist church? Methodist church. No, it says in the script I wrote where he went to. But Khan sees him outside of a Christian church.
We're Episcopal now.
And tells him he must see him at the temple. Only to find out that Ted left Buddhism, because it is good business to be a Christian these days.
It's just good business.
He traded in his culture for success in a way that Khan cannot, for one reason or another, bring himself to do. He cannot do it for his own well-being. And he learns that Ted's son was able to get into Rice Summer School, the same school that Connie was not accepted in, because of a really cool $10,000 donation that Ted made. That wasn't those were not words. An expense that Con just can't afford. He's well off, but he's not $10,000 to a summer school well off. He is at once too well off and too poor for Connie to go, and his ties to his homeland are just withering away. He is trapped in middle-class hell with no one to turn to.
But I am just a middle management ox plodding in the poop of the beast in front of me. And no matter how hard I work or how hard Connie studies, we all just stuck here.
We the kind of losers politicians pander to in speeches.
Part of his loneliness and loss of a community is his own fault, and I don't want to say whether or not Con is a good or a bad person. I don't care, it's irrelevant to me. I'm not interested in determining whether or not Con should go to heaven or hell or any of that. It just doesn't matter to me. But Con is kind of a dick. He's a real heel. He is not someone I want to spend any amount of time with. Even in his kindness, he seems like a jerk. When he tells Hank he's a redneck now, he says he's gonna
hang out in the alley and spend my welfare checks on beer like you guys. Be my own man.
Con!
Min doesn't know the drill yet.
Hank doesn't do that. Why would you say that to someone? What a heel. But Con doesn't see people complexly. He pushes them away. But that doesn't mean that his isolation is any less damaging to him. His breaking point is a drive to work, where he gets chewed out by his boss on the cell phone. He breaks his side view mirror and is told his pay is gonna be docked for his tardiness, even though he's not been tardy before.
Hello? Oh, no, just a little car trouble. I'm just running a little late, but to be fair, I have been early for the last 548 business days in a row. Dock my pay. Yes, sir. Very good.
Dang, man, I've been in jails that gave me more freedom than you got.
He pulls into a gas station and meets a redneck, Elvin Mackleston, a really cool name that I wish that I had. And Elvin offers him a chance to escape from his middle-class life, a chance for him to be his own man. To sign up for his new life, he buys an El Camino. This is a ritual act that I have seen many people do in my life. He absolutely points out that it's not just a car, it's a lifestyle. This is played as a joke, but he is replacing his middle-class possessions with redneck possessions. To join the new community, he has to perform appropriately for it. He adopts new slang, new language, the new car, new behavior, and with it, he's also adopted a nihilistic point of view. He explains to men that this is the only choice he has left. His dreams have been continually crushed, he's been trapped by his boss, and he's setting Connie up for the same failures that he's facing. This is giving up, and giving up is blissful.
Man, don't you see? There's a paradise out there where nobody works, nobody cares, nobody have plans or dreams that can be crushed.
Oh, I don't know, Con. Sounds crazy.
Come on, man. Let's just give up.
And I can't say that this viewpoint isn't attractive, because it is sometimes. The chips are stacked against him, as they are for many other working class people. So there could be freedom in throwing your hands up and saying that you're done. This is something people are drawn to. Life can feel like an unfair game because life is an unfair game. So why not take your ball and go home? The alt-right knows how effective this strategy is. They thrive in nihilism and impart nihilism into others. They take the red pill, they take the black pill, all the pills available. I believe the local news station calls that a farm party. The world is working against them, and they are right, but for the wrong reasons. And I'm not saying Con fell into the alt-right pipeline. Lucky is part of his new crew, and Lucky would never be part of the alt-right pipeline. I cannot face that reality.
Yeah, Lucky. Why they call you Lucky?
True story. I was at Costco one day and all of a sudden the nature called. Yelled is more like it. So I hightailed it into the John and there's some sensitive guy changing his little boy's diaper on one of them baby ironing boards. And don't you know I slipped on pee-pee and broke 2 vertebrae which had to be fused together? I'm in constant pain, but by God, I got me a $53,000 settlement.
This sumbitch is never gonna have to work another day in his life.
That's why they call me lucky.
But what I am saying is Khan was without a community. He was at a low point, and they came to him, they validated his feelings, and offered him a community that would revel in the toxicity he was feeling. It's not healthy, but it's attractive. For most of the episode, we see Khan and Min dicking around with their new redneck friends, and it's a joy that I haven't seen in his character before. I've seen it in Min, not in Khan. He's genuinely happy. Usually his laughter and smile is at the expense of others. It's when other people are failing and getting hurt. Usually Dale or Bill. He's not happy from a smug sense of superiority, but because he's fucking around with his friends. A community he has never had before. At least not since fleeing Laos. To be fair, a lot of fun they're having is decently wholesome. Drinking beer, riding four-wheelers, noodling. Well, they call noodling, catfisting. But I sure don't like the way catfisting feels in my mouth. And I hate the way Elvin Mackleston says catfisting.
It's only Wednesday and I've got to study Did you say catfisting?
Most definitely.
The first step in catfisting is to reach in and get you a big handful of stink bait.
But their activities become increasingly more toxic and more harmful. Khan is neglecting his daughter, a teenager, discouraging her from studying for school. Their house is falling apart, there's trash all in the front lawn. The gang breaks into a record store to steal a shitty album. Not a good album, a bad album.
Hey, y'all hear the new Trace Atkins come out today?
Damn. Let's get it.
And his friends are insulting him, insulting his masculinity, not treating his wife with kindness. Harry Styles says to treat people with kindness. It's damaging to him and it's damaging to everyone around him. By the end of the episode, he is facing down a Hulk of a man ready to beat him with a 2x4, a situation he willingly put himself in and doesn't plan on backing out of. This isn't dissimilar to how the alt-right operates. Not all of their MO is putting on riot gear and shouting racist chants. They fuck around on Reddit, joking with each other. They have memes, podcasts, and a culture. There's a community they get to take part in. But it escalates. The Pepe the Frog memes turn into beating each other up and reciting names of breakfast cereals. They put on goofy-looking polo shirts and get real fucking militant. And we've all seen the extremes this can lead to. The danger they put themselves in and the threat they present others. We've seen it. And of course, not everyone in the alt-right takes part in the violence themselves, but they've all engaged in the toxicity that reinforces the perceived necessity of it. And just like with Khan, I'm not interested in making moral judgments about each individual member. I don't care. They needed a community, and they got sucked into a real bad one when they couldn't find a meaningful connection with a healthy one. But throughout this, Hank and Peggy are taking care of Connie, Khan's daughter, shielding her as much as possible. They help men when the power gets shut off. And when the home is being foreclosed on, they are there.
What did we do? Poor Connie. Her parents drunk. We nearly homeless. Her father abandoned her.
I'm not gonna let Connie be homeless. I'm gonna find Con.
They might not like Khan, but he is their neighbor. And he is part of their community. Khan doesn't leave the rednecks on his own. Of course not. No one gets out of it alone. Hank has to pull him out of it to help him escape. Khan feels he's already lost everything. There is no more to lose. Everything has been taken away from him. But Hank reminded him of the people who love him. His daughter. A little girl who couldn't get dragged down with him. He needed some sort of meaning to end the nihilism.
You're about to throw away everything you ever worked for, Con. You're about to lose your dang house.
Ha! Everything already been taken away. Come on, swing! Take me out!
Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start thinking about Connie. You want her growing up in the back of an El Camino?
Oh, what choice do I have? We flee horrible dictatorships, learn a new language, and then work hard and study hard. And our reward for doing everything right is to be told, go to hell! You work too hard! You study too hard! Ah!
Yeah, you got a real bum deal, but maybe you could take a lesson from Connie instead of these apes. Even when you and Min went off the deep end, Connie never complained and she never stopped trying. You couldn't drag that little girl down into the muck with you.
Yeah.
The thing is, Con wasn't being unappreciative. His problems are very real, and those things can be soul-crushing. I took a week off of writing this video because work has been crushing me. Communities are hard to come by, hard to build, and the psychological effects, the physical effects of these stresses should not be downplayed or ignored, but it's uncomfortable to talk about. But even if no one likes to talk about it, we still have to confront it. Or we lose people. We lose the ones we love. Of course, I didn't pull myself out of my own funk. The people who love me are the ones who pulled me out of it. Just like Hank had to pull Con out. Of course, it's King of the Hill, so everything gets wrapped up nicely. But there is a bittersweet note hanging in the air. Con is going back to his old life. He's getting a 9-to-5 job again, and is going to have more shitty days, just like the one that sent him down that path. But we at least know there is community that pulled him back. A community that was watching out for him when he couldn't look out for himself. And they're still going to be watching out for him. And if you're watching this, and you might be part of one of these communities, you might be experimenting with some of these beliefs and political systems, you might be ready to take the black pill. I want you to take a step back. You might not see it, but there are people who do love you. There are people who care about you. These are people who want you to be okay. They want you to be happy. They want you to succeed. People who genuinely care about you. These groups might give you the attention that you do deserve. They might make you feel like you're part of something special. But you are not special because of them. You are already important. You already had meaning and value. Even if some assholes didn't see it, you were always important. You might think it's too late to come back, but it isn't. We're all waiting for you to come back. So that was a fun one. I didn't get to bring it up, but I really do hope that Edge closes this video with Min getting hot and bothered, real steamy about the El Camino. Alright, you already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Tell a friend. I haven't told you to do that, but tell a friend. Check out our TikToks, check out Brosep's band, Catch Hell, check out Commie Trucker's podcast, The Precariat. It's all there in the description. Give us that clout, make it rain. And also, we're past 90 subscribers now, so I want to sincerely thank you. That's amazing. I'm touched. I actually am. I'm at a loss for words. So, like I always say, take it sleazy.
What do you say, Min? Will you be my redneck bride?
Oh, yes, Con, I will. Now take me in the back of that El Camino.